They stand on a pedestal of high power strength, and that's going to continue. They've kept the core together, which just shows that the importance of Pat Cummins, because I think he stitches everything else together. He keeps Travis Head happy over there, and he keeps Heinrich Klaassen, Abhishek, that Head and Abhishek Sharma Jodi is set to continue. As far as any real surprises go for the Sunrisers, I know Adam Zampa doesn't seem keen to want to come back to the IPL next year. So that's an area they'll have to fill. Zishan Ansari can't be their lone spinner. And Rahul Chahar, who was at 3.2 crore, has gone out. So I see them in the market for a spinner. Whether that could be an overseas or an Indian spinner, find out. Whether they would actually be keen on Bishnoi would be very interesting. Sunrisers Hyderabad. I think we might end up seeing that. Other than that, pretty set squad. In fact, they had a slightly unlucky pattern of play in the first part of the IPL last year. They finished better than they started, but that ultra aggressive approach just backfired more than it normally should have. Karthik Krishnaswamy did an excellent analysis piece of a lot of luck missing more than anything else. It was still a very good team. They need Heinrich Klaassen to fire. Otherwise, they're a good team. I like that they've kept most players intact and together. And I think we might see some uncapped Indian players play a big part. I think Smaran Ravichandran's a very interesting one. He's a left-hander. He's at 30 lakhs. He came in as a replacement. And I think they rate him very highly. And therefore, he's been retained along with Aniket Verma, who had such a good season. Harsh Dubey is the other one who came in as a replacement player, who's a left-arm spinner, and has got a very good red ball record playing Ranji Trophy. So I actually think they've got a lot of good bases covered. They can squeeze in some complementary overseas players just to add to Kamindu Mendes, who may not necessarily be a 14-match player. But I think Ishan Malinga also seems to be a pretty good cover on that side. I'm only interested at 25.50. That's a good purse. So whether they are interested for one big buy, like one biggie at the auction, and is that biggie going to be one of the? I think let that be taken forward by those putting their fingers up.
Yeah. So all the viewers, I'm a little confused. I think I saw Matt first. So Matt.
Well, I was just putting up a V for Venki. I wonder whether they're going to have a dip for Venki Iyer.
Okay.
Looking at the possibility okay. Go on, let me just go the batting lineup potentially of Head, Abhishek, Kishan, Klaassen, Venki, and Nitish Kumar Reddy as a top six could be pretty phenomenal. And then you have an overseas spinner as your last overseas player. Could work.
I think Aniket Verma makes their first 11, so I don't see the need for Venki. The 11 I have down is Head, Abhishek, Kishan, Klaassen, NKR, Aniket, then maybe Harsh Dubey, number 7, Cummins, Harshal Patel, Ehsan Malinga, and then I think where they will look to spend is the spinner. I don't actually. I know you were going to say the Shami replacement, but I can actually see them replacing Shami with having an Ehsan Malinga, Cummins, and one of the Indian fast bowlers they already have, either Harshal or Unatkar, and then go big for an Indian spinner. That's one way they could go about it.
Yeah, two inferences I draw from everything you all have said. That to me, it appears like Ravi Bishnoi would perhaps be a player of big interest, not just because of the holes right now, but also because we've spoken a lot during the season of Sunrisers prioritizing bowlers who have a defensive bowling skill set, which is something Bishnoi has done quite often in his T20 career. And I also wonder, since you brought up the question of Venki Iyer, and this question, any of you can take it, I wonder, seeing how you've positioned Sunrisers and where they stand right now, Ronak, if this is a team which is more interested in getting 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 crore buys to fill all those roles with quality players as opposed to going all out for one big player.
No, because when you have most of your 11 set, you don't think like a spread of 4 or 5 crore for 5 players is as valuable as somebody who you could potentially use as an X-factor player in a settled 11 or 12. The only question is, do Sunrisers see themselves as a settled 11 or 12? And they were pretty much their best team featured. Their best team was a team without Mohammad Shami and without Rahul Chahar anyway last year. So I don't think they lose out in big ways in that way. I repeat, with Aniket Verma, which is something that I said at the last auction, they've scouted well, and if they've retained Smaran, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a big role to play. For me, the players they'll pick up are the released players who will have defensive skill sets, who will buy into their philosophy. So Lungi Ngidi, Reece Topley, players like that will make for good squad players. But I think they will be surprised by a couple of the players that have entered the auction. One of them being Russell and the other one being Bishnoi. And they will be surprised as to how much their balance still is. They can sit quietly and wait, see how KKR and CSK draw blood of each other. And then there might come a time at the auction where they may just realize, right, we might as well go for this one player that, nobody else is showing a lot of love to. So that could happen.
Last year they were using Abhinav, Manohar and Kamindu Mendes quite a bit, and that's where Russell could come in. So he could be a player they could go for. Sorry, go ahead, Nagaraj.
No, fine. Totally fine. That's fine. So the one skill set Varun Aaron, the new bowling coach, will be scratching his head to find, and we have not spoken about, is a power play fast bowler. SRH don't have it. They definitely need that, and it would need to be an Indian. And this is where the point I was trying to make. They would have deliberated, no doubt about it, that whether releasing Shami now is wise or not. But the pool, I'm trying to look at the pool. Yash has given me an exercise quietly on the side. Give me a pool of fast bowlers. And honestly, the Indian fast bowling thing, I don't know about the rookies, but there is zero. It's nobody is out there. It's the overseas guys who are, I mean, they have cars. They don't.
I have one name.
Say that.
Shivam Mavi is somebody who has been scoring a lot of runs of late and also...
Yeah, well, he's trying him hard to put himself as an all-rounder, but not a fast bowler anymore. So first,
if they need Shivam Mavi's batting in that team that I've just mentioned, then a lot has gone horribly wrong for Sunrisers.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. The Indian fast bowler and the spinner, which you guys have already mentioned, will be the two key buys they want at this auction.
That assignment I handed over to you, Nagaraj, was actually me passing it on from what has been a big theme in the comments. A lot of interest in trying to find out what could be the pool of fast bowlers. So I hope you've got some semblance of an answer
So
there.
I have zero Indian names. I'll go with some of the overseas names, and guys, please add to that. Probably Adam Milne, Shamar Joseph, Gus Atkinson, Jaden Seals, maybe. And some of the other released guys from KKR.
Matisha Pathirana.
Yeah,
and the KKR guys.
I'll throw some names in who haven't been part of a recent or weren't part of it last season. Matt Henry, I think, is a possible. Jason Berendorf as an experienced new ball option. Jacob Duffy from New Zealand has had a really good year in T20 internationals. Possibly Riley Meredith as well. He's had a good year and has stayed fit. And a slightly left field English shout for you is Josh Tongue, who was, I think, the leading wicket taker in the 100. Hasn't played white ball internationals for England, but as a slight wild card shout if he has a good Ashes or starts the Ashes well.